Welcome to December. December, at least the first half, is all about the energy of Sagittarius. Fiery, fun, adventurous, but also quite honest with what you want, what you're intending, and what you wish for yourself. That in itself takes courage and bravery. So it's a wonderful thing to be putting into your energy this month. We're also welcoming in the festive season because it is nearly Christmas. Ooh, I'm getting quite celebratory. I can't help it. It's just part of who I am. It's wonderful. So I hope you can ask yourself this month, what do I want to welcome in my life that will lighten my life, that will add a smile to my face? What will bring more meaning that also involves me showing more of myself and being honest with what I want? Sagittariuses are well known for their bluntness, and it's one of their most admirable traits. And how can you embody that trait for this month? Let's see who our guests are so that you can make your choice. We've got the Happy Tarot with the Rainbow-Opalite. Ooh, look at that color. We've got the Lovers Tarot and the Blue Lace Agate. We've got the Housewives Tarot and the Thulite. Look at that Thulite. Oh, it's such a deep color. Then you have the Golden Tarot and the Carnelian. And then the Accurate AF Tarot and look at the matching color, the Rose Quartz. Take a deep breath. Let yourself be filled with light, especially in your heart that is coming into its brightness. And then, who or which are you drawn to? And I'll see you there. I see you have picked the Rainbow-Opalite. This third eye and crown chakra stone is a beauty, may I just say. Look at all those colors reflecting in the light. Now this is a perfect stone for this month in Sagittarius because it is about reducing the blockages in your heart energy so that you can express what your heart truly wants. It's also about reducing emotional fatigue and bringing in some energy so that you can enjoy yourself and bring yourself into new spaces. It's an adventure stone, yes. So it's a wonderful choice for today. Good on you. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a little bit of blue, there's a little bit of yellow, green. Can't say no to that. Alrighty, let's pop this here. What a beauty. And let's shuffle the Happy Tarot. Why not Sagittarius season? And you start with a tarot deck that is all about the happiest looks of the tarot. Okay, we've got the Emperor. Hello, Emperor. And then you've got is this the Queen of Swords in reverse? And Strength. Oh, what a combination. Okay, I did not expect that. Then again, you don't really expect anything when you do tarot. But let me show you a little bit of what's happening here. So, this is a month. Sagittarius may be a sign that is powered by the horse, but this is not the time to take charge into things. I understand the person who picks this is somebody who's quite serious and quite focused and narrow in their goals and in their sights. And that's okay as well. Everybody has their own energy, and that's something that they're all cultivating on a different level, their own level. And so in that way, this is the month specifically to kind of let things go. Yes, to let things go. And this may be the kind of message that makes you panic at the first moment. Understandable, of course. But it is also a challenge for you to understand that sometimes spontaneity and your reaction to things is what's going to show you your strength. You can only plan so much and set as narrow a field for yourself as you can. And there's that Emperor there in reverse. Now, the Emperor it's an influential and authoritative card, but it is in reverse this month for you, which means that perhaps in the last month or so, you've already done more than enough in bringing authority into your life in establishing and pushing order. And remember, that is the balance of the feminine and the masculine here, where perhaps this is now the time to be a little bit more feminine, into the flow, and sometimes simply letting certain things happen, because it is your spontaneity and in the reaction that you have that you realize what some of your raw talents are. Because that is a situation that I would uncover what you can actually do, right? That is why the strength is so bright here in that third card. It's letting you know that in the most unusual moments, that is when your skill will really come out. That is when your talent will really make a stand. So the Queen of Swords is in reverse as well, another authoritative figure. And it is a bit of a tip for you to not let yourself be driven towards one goal as well. Looking at this as a Capricorn Aries combination, I mean, my Aries is kind of okay with a little bit of a, impulse, but my Capricorn self is screaming at advice like this. So it's also important when you look at this kind of advice that it's been given to you because you are in a specific set of circumstances, and that it's meant to balance you out from what you've been doing just before. All right, so what you've been doing the last month, perhaps there's enough of that. Sometimes you need to continue that, but now there needs to be a bit of a settling. And for you, the last month has been so steeped in order, so steeped in pushing forward with your goals. This time, you must let the goals guide you. Let the goals guide you and see how you come up to the challenges that arise out of the blue. Isn't that a wonderful message? So those things that you have planned for this month, or some of the things that you really felt like this is it, this is what's next, this is what's next, unless it's an absolute must, let them be, let them happen as they need to for you. Wonderful. And what is the combination we have today with, what is the combination that we have for today? This is the Oracle of the Hidden Realm. Ooh, spicy. Okay, it's not spicy, but we'll see where we go. Let's have a look. We've got the Winged Wise One. So this one has no reverse, but oh, look at that Miraculous 8. I like this. I know exactly what this is talking about. And here we go again with my typical impatience. I want to explore everything, but I need to finish drawing the cards. It is, see, letting go. It's self-explanatory at this point, honestly. And that natural movement as well. Whoops. What is this? The Lady of the Reflection on. Oh, I see. Okay, that brings it all together. I see what it means. So understand that there's a few elements at play here. There are a few factors combining for this message for you. So the Winged Wise Ones is a bit of an idea. If you actually think about it, this is the person that needs help. So there will be challenges that arise in this month, and you will panic because you think, I did not plan enough for this, or I should have. It's not about that. It's understanding that the universe will also have something in store for you. This is the helper. Universe in store for you to help you with what you're doing. Okay, the universe has something in store that will come in to help you at the last minute. Because if you're always at the top of the seat, always calling the shots, always pushing it the way that you want, you are assuming complete authority in your life and not letting anything else come in. Remember that the trajectory in your life and the flow is partially you, partially the universe, and partially, sometimes it's even the energy that you bring. So understand that the world wants to give to you. Okay, the universe wants to give to you. And sometimes you have to step back and let things happen for it to come and help you. You can't be sitting there on a throne by yourself. Okay? So, or even if you put it in a metaphor for a car, you can't always be in the driver's seat. Sometimes you need to take it easy and go sit in the passenger, get a nap, and let things happen. And that's why this has come up as well. It is letting things go, because it is a part of the natural cycle in life to sometimes surrender control. Sometimes you take charge, sometimes you surrender. And so this is that timing for you. It is not bad. It is not you not wanting to do anything. It doesn't mean that you're lazy. It just means that you are taking a different pace. And this is what wraps it all together. Lady of the Mirror. It's because after you go through these challenges this month, it will give you a good idea, right? It will really lend you a good idea. It will show you, give it to you, that your skills and your whole overall perception of yourself in life will let you see that. So how much of my life is me? How much is the universe? And how much is it playing a role in what I want to bring to the world? So keep that in mind. It'll actually show you what are my skills, my weaknesses, what happens when I let go or when I stay on course. It will actually show you quite a good portrait of yourself. So it will give you that information for some good self-reflection. And that is your message for this month. I hope you enjoy the festive season. You enjoy the wonderful, carefree energy. And I'll see you in the next. Bye! I see you picked the blue lace agate. This is a stone that centers around heartfelt communication. What do you need to say from deep within your heart this month? And do you need to find those right words? What are those conversations and I would even say the talks that you've been hesitating about because it's something really meaningful to you and you don't want to get it wrong. You want to choose the right tonality and the weight behind the words that will speak your truth. This is the perfect companion for you. Look at little lace detail. And of course, this is a throat chakra stone, if you guessed that by now. And it's a wonderful but gentle friend to help you approach those topics for this month. And to be able to put yourself out there in the open emotionally. Wonderful. Let's not drop the crystals. And what does the Lover's Tarot have to say about this? I don't know, it's a strange combination. I don't think I've put these two crystals here before. So let's see what comes out. Oh, the Empress, but in reversed. Interesting. Oh, let's move that. And we've got the Queen of Swords. And the King of Pentacles. What a combination. Interesting. So this is the month for you to actually, again, communication. And you've got the Queen of Swords there. Speak plainly. There are these conversations and talks that you've been wanting to set straight. And yet you're actually analyzing it too much. You're letting yourself get away with too many thoughts and little considerations. And sometimes there's a time and place for that. I understand that. I recognize that. But it's also important to know when simple is the best answer. And the reason why the Empress is actually in reversed here, it's because in a way, this is a card of creation. It's a card of bringing forth multiples, if that makes sense. And so for you, you're trying to embellish. You're trying to keep adding on to what you want to say. And oh, maybe if I say it like this, it will not land as much as that. And so you are now dressing up what you're trying to say a bit too much. And it's getting a little crowded, right? When actually, simple works. That's why the Queen of Arrows or Swords. So in this deck, the arrows are swords. When really what she's trying to say is actually quite plain. It's straight to the point, so to say. And even the King of Pentacles kind of shows that too. This is Zeus, which is honestly a little ironic. But let's not comment on that. I'm going to be here for the next 20 minutes making quasi-historical commentary on tonality of gods and whatnot. But he's also holding, which is unusual for a King of Pentacles actually, a staff that actually has a point as well. Quite straightforward. And understand that your expectations also need to be managed. That sometimes your arrow, your point may not always hit the mark correctly. And that's fine. This is what human beings are like. We cannot plan the perfect landing every time. Right? We have to be kind to ourselves and understand that sometimes the simplest way is the best. Even though it may not always succeed, you must give yourself credit for trying, for launching the arrow, the message in the first place. But I want to draw your attention here to the King of Pentacles. Zeus is actually holding a pentacle, a giant pentacle that's kind of like a shield that has the heart. And this is a really important point for you to remember. If you're sending a message, if there's any consideration that you need to make, it is this. Show your heart plainly. No matter what words you use, simple, articulate or not, put your heart out there somewhere to see. You don't have to open it and let all of it out, but even just at the surface, let that person glimpse. So if this is a book, let's say a book, you don't have to make them read a whole book, but show them the back, the front. Give them a basic idea of where your heart is at, right? Let them know what's going on there, even if they can't understand the full depth. If you can do that and send your message, you will be able to have those great conversations, those wonderful conversations for this month. And let's see what is your companion. And I picked the Wisdom, the Horse Oracle. I know, it's such an unusual deck, and I'm gonna have to look away again because I know it's gonna be a little bit weird if I look. Treasure, okay, and personal power. Okay. I'm managing to lay them perfectly. Okay, not quite perfectly, but it's a work in progress. So the treasure, let's look at the picture just in case. Oh wow, that is wonderful. So again, you are aligning with yourself and what you want by being honest, by being truthful. And though somebody may not, the person you're wanting to have that conversation with may not fully understand it all, they can at least connect with you on that level, knowing that you're both being vulnerable and honest. That at least you can agree on and connect with. And that is a show of your personal power. It takes courage to bear what your soul holds, right? It's not always courageous to dress it all up in fancy wording and you know, do this technique and that technique. It takes power and bravery to simply state what's happening inside of you. And this kind of sums it up quite well. And it will lead you to grow. In fact, it will let you feel lighter and more free than before. And this is, I picked up Horse Oracle because it's also Sagittarius season, you know, but this is what's going to set you free. Do you know why you picked this set for this month? It's because you keep trying to subvert the way that you will approach these honest conversations. You think that the right combination will make it easier, it will manipulate it. You are trying to manipulate. And that burden mentally of trying to manipulate, trying to subvert, I guess the best word is to subvert, that's the best word, is taking a toll on your energy. Take your blue lace agate or your similar thread chakra stone, check in where your heart is, and go for that talk. And accept in the same time that caveat, right? Accept that caveat that you will not be able to land every message perfectly. But can you connect? That's the question. You can send a message, you can say the words, but your honesty, your truth will lead to connection. And thus, that connection will lead to a lightening of your heart. That's the only way to release all this mental gymnastics. Let yourself be in that space and you will set yourself free. And that's the authenticity that you're looking for. This is the message of Sagittarius, really. To be bold and to be honest and to enjoy what benefits, which benefits that brings. It's wonderful. So do away with the fanciness. Let yourself be straight, be simple, but with your heart visible. And you will find the right connection. And if you can connect, you can work out all else. You don't need to see and understand and agree with all the things you say, but if you can connect, you see each other's souls and you really understand what you feel about yourself and what you feel about that person, right? The person you need to, speak with. and understand the value of that relationship, the value of that connection. I hope you enjoyed this month, and maybe you do have some important talks to start in Christmas time. I hope it's okay if it's your relatives. Hope you enjoyed this month. Sending you the best energy, and I hope that you get really festive. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next month. Oh, and also, before I forget, remember that you don't need to take on mentally as much as you think you do. So show yourself that kindness this month, and you will thank yourself. Take care now, and I'll see you in the new year. Thulite. This wonderful affectionate stone is great for your heart, sacral, solar, and throat. It's a multiple hit, this one, and it's one of the most unique crystals because it is an unusual way of approaching emotional energy. Yes, and the color itself is quite unique too. You don't see this stone a lot. It's actually quite unique. Therefore, what is it about? Thulite is about dispelling, diffusing the judgment of yourself and other people. And it allows you to flow with kindness coming from your heart. It allows you to be empathic. It's wonderful that way. So if you're wanting to soften yourself for this month, be kinder to yourself. Let yourself lighten up, as is the Sagittarius energy. And be kinder. This is it. What a companion. And with Thulite is the Housewives Tarot. The Housewives Tarot is one of my favorites. Honestly, you can't go wrong with it. It's blunt, it's feminine, it's beautiful. You've got the sun in reverse. Oh wow, we're off to a great start. I like it. Even in reverse, the sun is great. I've said this before. We've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And the Eight of Wands. Oh, that is the fiery energy that we're looking at for this month. That's for sure. So what is going on here? What is going on here? This is a month where a lot of things will simply come to you. Look at the direction of the Eight of Wands. This is a month where a lot of things are simply coming to you, and you don't need to do anything. And for my earthy and fiery fellow people, I know this is a bit of a frustrating thing to hear, because we always have something, always got something what we want to approach, something that what we want to start. All right, can I ask you for this month to simply let it be? All right, you can delay this step till next year. You can start with January. That's wonderful. Do you know why? Do you know why? So for these current goals and plans that you have to launch properly, to get out there and to take off, there are a few things the universe wants to add just before you do. So think about it as a rocket ship or an airplane, right? They don't just say, hey, plane's here, let's pop the people in and let's go, right? There's a lot of engineering happening. You know, there's all those people in the buggies, and they bring things, they double check things, they add supplies if need be, they double check. So that is what the universe is actually doing for you right now. So the universe is arranging a few things to fall into place that is not within your control. May I just make that really, really clear? There's some specific details, those little wands or brooms in this stage. I think that's a beautiful metaphor actually for the housewives are to take the little brooms and make them the wands. I love the Housewives Tarot. So, and then the sun, remember what I said, and if you may not have heard me say this before, the sun is the most positive card in the deck. It is, hands down. Anyone who doesn't tell you that doesn't know what they're talking about. There's the arrogance of the Sagittarius coming out. I am an Aries moon, so, but the sun is all about wonderful times, great times ahead, harmony, joy, happiness. But when it's in this position, it means that it's coming soon. So it really supports this whole message you're saying. Don't worry, we're just doing some last minute checks and additions, but we're preparing some really good things for you. And when that's done, next month you can launch, you can take off, you can do what you like. That is the message for you this month. So what are you meant to do in the meantime? I can hear something saying, okay, I can't start this now. I gotta wait. What do I do? Well, I think that's something that's going to be answered by the other deck, the companion for today. So keep yourself in that know-how and learn to practice some of that patience too. But here's a tidbit for you to remember. Can you recognize, make it a bit of a, when you're in a car ride and you're waiting, you're not the one, you're not the one at the wheel, and you're like, oh, when we get there, and you just need to wait because we're going through the roads. Play a little spiritual I Spy. Can you spot, you may not be able to spot it all, but can you spot some of the things that is being worked out for you by the universe? Can you be spiritually open enough and observant to see it? Play that game with yourself. See if you can do that. And what do we have here? The Sacred Traveler Oracle to come with your reading. Oh, one of my favorite decks, honestly. Oh, clear the air. Clear the air. Oh my goodness. I feel like this reading is a little bit feisty. Let's just put it that way. View from above. Okay. Oh, okay, that makes a bit more sense. Oh, okay. I see why you have to wait. I see why you have to wait also. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I like how it kind of clears it up. So, aside from the little suggestion to do a little spiritual I Spy, the universe actually feels like, do you see how this is a parallel of both? Like if you see the Distant Thunder and this next card, it's literally a parallel that are in opposites. Because mentally there's a lot going on for you. And perhaps you're using these goals and plans, these physical things that you want to do, as a distraction from clearing yourself. You need some clearing to do. Mentally, emotionally, you're actually not seeing things the way they are because you're so caught up in the confusion, and your way to deal with confusion is to do. And sometimes it's good to do to distract yourself, but it's also important to have a clear vision of what's happening in the world, what's happening in front of you. So your responsibility yourself, aside from the I Spy, is to connect with where you are and what you want, to heal things that are left unhealed, and to do some releasing. So what are some of the things that you have some in-house tidying to do spiritually? That's what the cards are saying. So I thought, oh, you guys are a little feisty. We want to get things done, and then you make it all about us rather than the external world. I know some of you are saying that. So yes, what are some mental thoughts? Are there energies that are attached to you right now? Some thoughts and thoughts and worries that are sticking with you that are not yours. Maybe you're carrying some energy that are not yours, and it's clouding your way of looking at life, right? It's clouding your perspective, okay? And are there little bits and pieces of you that still need to do some healing, right? So ask those questions, because while you're busy with that, the universe is also busy with preparing those things for you. So understand, that's why the Thulite is there. The reason why you're finding it hard to release these things or heal them is because you judge yourself. So this is why this is the story about allowing yourself to be kind to yourself. Because we can't always turn to the outside world when things are hard. We also need to make sure we're in top shape. And that's what it's teaching us right here. So remember that there are some things for you to tidy in-house, right? The Thulite really supports that. And you need to be able to see and speak with yourself and say, you matter. What you're doing and your priorities for yourself matters before we start tidying up everything else in the outside world. So remember that message for this month. Pull back on the physical things that you want to do. You can do that in January, that's fine. Watch to see how the universe supports you. See if you, don't worry, the sun here is saying that it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. You just need to wait, right? See what the universe is doing for you, and then take care of yourself mentally and emotionally. Tidy that up. That sounds so bossy. Well, I'll see you in the next month. I hope you enjoy this wonderful message and that you approach this festive season with love, celebration, and the happiness that you deserve. You are wonderful, right? And just remember that it takes courage and initiative to say that you matter, to say to yourself that you do matter. So you deserve that. I'll see you in the next. Bye! So you'd pick the Carnelian. The Carnelian is the zhuzh that you need when you need it. It is a molten fire in a stone. It works for your solar, your sacral, and your root. So it really is the bottom 3 chakras. So if you're really needing to get that inner motivation to get things done, this is the stone for you. I'm just saying. And it's perfect because I think it really emphasizes what Sagittarius is all about. It's about being able to get yourself out there. And if you want to get yourself out there, you need the energy to do so, right? So if you think about it, you need that strength, you need the vitality, and you need that encouragement from within yourself to go. Just go. Are you struggling with Christmas shopping and endless stream of Christmas parties and being around people you don't really like and you just want to hang your head? This is it. That sounded a little personal. No, I'm kidding. But this is the energy that you need for this season. This season that is kind of chaotic. I'll put it that way. So what is in store for you? One, we got the 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay, the 6 of Cups in reverse. What an interesting combination. And the 6 of Coins. Now there's some synchronicities going on here. So, isn't it interesting that the card about childhood turns up in this reading? I want to point that out. Yeah, the card about your childhood is in this reading. What does that mean? It means the time that you'll be spending with family and those you grew up with, even if it's friends, like close friends, the people that you formed yourself around. You'll be spending some time with them for this month. And I guess it makes sense because it is this season. But understand that the people that you're going to be around for this season are not they are not holding themselves together. Let's put it that way. And I don't mean that as a criticism of them or that they're not good people, or maybe in your opinion they aren't, or maybe they are. That's not the case here. The case is they just happen to be in that point in their life. So I'm really suggesting, I'm seeing here that there'll be a lot of demands asked of you in this month. That's why the 6 of Coins is there, a lot more than you can give. And you need to be able to ground yourself and understand what is worth giving to and what is not. Do not be a revolving door where everyone can just go in. Be an airport. That is your advice for this month. Be an airport. Oh, Colleen, what is going on with you? So, what I mean by that, airports let people travel. Airports let people shop. They are there for a multitude of things, but mostly for going somewhere. But they don't just let anyone in, and they don't just walk in willy-nilly with all the things, what they want to wear, what they're bringing, doesn't matter, whatever it is. No, there are security measures in place. There's border security. What is your spiritual border security, right? What are the prerequisites that they need to show, whether they care about you, whether they're an integral part of your life, for you to be handing your energy to them? It's not a free-for-all. Your energy is not a free-for-all. May I just say that again, right? And a 6 of Cups in reverse. That's why it's in reverse, right? What an interesting position to find this reverse card, because your natural instinct, especially at this time of the year, right, is to, well, because they're this, because they're blank, so I'm gonna do it. Because. And you need to be a little bit more discerning than that. That is not a good enough reason for somebody to wriggle their way into your life. I'm sorry, but it's not. And for you, familiarity is not a sufficient prerequisite for them to gain access to your energy, right? And I'm telling you now, the 7 of Cups here is telling you that these people's energy are going to be scattered, which is fine. It's not your responsibility. That's where they are in life. That's okay. But then you need to ask yourself, okay, this is where they are in life. Exposing myself to them is going to bring some kind of energy that's like that into my life. I'll be exposed to it for a short while. Is that worth it? Is that worth it for you? Of course, if it really is, it could be, because it's someone really important to you that's going through a tough time, and you actually really, really cherish the time that you're going to be spending together, despite where they are in life, because you care and they're important. And you may need to do a couple of protecting strategies and all that, and that's fine. Then you do. But what if it's not really worth it? What if this person always takes and only leads you astray? Think about that. What is your spiritual energy border security system? That's how you get a reading with a Capricorn. And then we have the Oracle, the Wisdom of the Oracle. Got the By the Book, wonderful. And oh, there's two cards here. Between Worlds and A Change in the Wind. Ah, I see. There's some growing in store for you this month. That's why the universe is asking you to be a little bit more discerning with how you hand out your energy. Because if you want to go by the book, right, to follow your own path, because this is the start of the new year, it's coming up, not just past December, you're going into January. And if you're going into that new energy, know that you want to do it by your own book. You follow those who resonate with you, who are authentic with you. This is basically like a preliminal way of you discerning and choosing who you're going to really cultivate relationships with next year. This is just a trial run, right? And that is where you are. That's the Between Worlds card. You are moving from an older self that took on too much because of a twisted sense of duty, responsibility that did not show healthy boundaries. And you're moving into yourself, and interesting in the Sagittarius energy, because you need that daring energy to be brighter, to be more authentic. And it's interesting that the Change in the Wind is actually, it's not a card that I see often when I read with this deck, but when it does, it always makes a bigger impact. So what does this Change in the Wind mean? This zebra, which is interesting because zebras always, did you know that zebras stripes, right, always contrast? Do you know that? But their skin itself is a different color to the stripes, right? So your inner self will always be the same. It's just hard to see, or gets muddled up with different colors at times when certain influences come into play. So now this is a time to kind of purify and center around yourself again. And who are you? What do you believe? And what is important to you? Because as you move into that change into the wind, you'll be carrying that. That belief is home for you. That is your center and your soul. And you will bring that with you into the new year. And to do that, you need to keep it in good condition. Not 10,000 people trying to squeeze in and hanging out just for a good time. You decide who goes in there. It's interesting because that's kind of like the airport, right? Kind of looks like those towers that you see for the air traffic control, right? So it determines your next trajectory in your life and the next steps you'll be taking into the new year. Who should be there and who shouldn't? Who is adding to your life? No one is perfect. All the people you encounter, especially those you care about the most, will have those horrible moments. They will have those times where they're not the best of themselves. But at their core, knowing the person for who they are and how they matter in your life, what they brought into your life, then maybe they're really worth it. Maybe not. But that is the judgment you get to make. That is the call that you have the right to create. So think about it for this month and see who is there in your energy field. Who is bringing you more confusion and who's there out of pure duty compared to who's adding something much more into the wide array that is your life. And encouraging you to grow, resonates with you, not perfectly, but to some level that you can travel. You can travel into life together and feel aligned as you bring in a more authentic self into the new year. I hope you enjoy this wonderful little message and that you have a fun Christmas that you truly deserve. Ah, so sweet. Enjoy yourself, take it easy, and well, if you want to eat as much as you like for this season, go ahead. You're making those choices and acting on those rights in your life. See you in the new year. Bye. Well, this is always a good choice because the rose quartz is not one to fail you when you need love, when you need to share and receive love. It's wonderful in a way that it allows you to open up your heart, works with your heart chakra, and lets you be able to multiply the love that is in your heart to share those around you. It's a perfect choice for such a season when you'll be actually together with many people. You'll be sharing that space and coming in for a season that is all about unity. And of course, love itself. Oh, wonderful. You can't go wrong with this, honestly. And I thought that would be a great theme to bring in this special season. And Sagittariuses are quite bold when it comes to sharing what's in their heart. Ooh, that's amazing. So, what is our message with the Accurate AF Tarot today? I always like a nice round deck to make things a little bit spicy. And voila, we've got the Four of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, all right. And the Five of Swords in reverse. Wow. Well, this season is definitely quite festive, chaotic for you. And really, this is such a centered message around understanding when you're at your limit. Okay, a lot of things are happening for this month, and there's so many people in your life. It's gonna have so many different opinions, different energies, good and bad, and somewhere in between. And you're sitting there trying to hold on for dear life because God knows it shakes you to your core because there's so many, and you feel like you're pulled at from many directions. So the key here has always been, well, the key theme here has always been in the beginning here with the Four of Pentacles. And you know, swords, you know what it's telling you? You are going to get tired. You're going to feel really empty around this time of the year. And that's okay, it comes with the territory, but it doesn't mean you lay back and you just take it. You also need to understand what is happening here in terms of your, I would even say, your levels and what you can take. Maybe there's some lines you need to draw so that you can preserve yourself. You can preserve your energy during the season. And the solution to that is right here in the middle with the Ace of Pentacles, actually. It is that first material step, the first material step. So this is actually quite literal advice that I'm getting here. And it's telling you to find one thing, to create one thing, one routine that is your grounding routine for this month. Get a pen, get a paper. What is that routine gonna look like for you? Maybe it's a salt bath plus a sage cleanse plus a little journaling. What is your go-to spiritual emergency kit that you're going to do when it's getting a bit too much? And it has to be physical actions. I don't want you to sit there and think, yes, but this person's not good. Yes, that, okay, you're thinking that, that's in your head. You need to do. You need to do. And oh, my Capricorn self is rearing when it says that, but it needs to be something physical that grounds you. Perhaps, you know, you may meditate and things like that, that's fine, but hold on to a crystal or something physical that you're doing that grounds you. Perhaps that's a piece of, what's a really grounding? Red tiger's eye could be quite grounding as well. Maybe you need some hematite in your life. What is that grounding point for you? You need to hold it to be able to feel it and to let yourself be grounded with it, because it's gonna be cray this season. It's gonna be ups and downs and here and there and lots of different personalities coming into the fray. And for you, you need to be centered. And there'll be times you'll waver and you'll get a little bit shaky. That's okay, but you need to have this plan of action in place so that you can access it. And preferably it has to be something that's quite easy for you to be able to do. It's not too complex. You need to buy 1,000 things to do. But remember that there needs to be a heavy physical, a physical component to it that's quite tactile. So remember, that's pretty specific and quite physical. And being the sign that I am, I actually find it quite easy to read about readings that, you know, I do receive a lot of messages that are quite literal in the way that they comment and the way that they guide you. And I find it easy to relay that. So yes, so when you are in this season and you're surrounded by this energy, get that, not emergency, but that plan in place. Receive that. So, what is our partner for today? We've got the Spiritual Warrior Oracle. All right, Spirit Warrior. So, let's see what it has in store for us. It is one of those double-sided decks again, so I'm not going to look. It's going to look really, really messy at first. So, I'm going to try. I think I'm getting better at blind pulling. That's what I'm going to call it, blind pulling. And you can't look at all, and you're just hoping they put things in the right place. Oh, that's not bad. Soul. What did I say about clearing? What did I say about clearing? Oh my goodness. Yes. So, it is about letting go of the negativity. Just accept the fact you will, can I just lift this please? Thank you. That you will be exposed to negativity in this month. I know it's the holiday season and whatnot, so it is your duty and responsibility to yourself to also clear yourself and understand that's one of the ways you can ground yourself and heal thyself. What did I just say about healing? Oh, apple cider vinegar. Okay, so, and again, it is about being able to nourish yourself, and that is not other people's responsibility but your own. Energizing yourself, stepping back when you need a break, when you think the exposure is too much. You can't avoid all exposure, fortunately, but taking initiative when it comes to, I would say, having the initiative to look after yourself when you need to. And look at that, you got the Aura Soma. Actually, I don't even know what Aura Soma is. Yes, I've heard it, and now that I'm looking at it, it makes sense. I got a different message, kind of, when I saw the image, and that's where I usually get from. But it is about connecting with your soul. It's about using color to connect with your soul. It's interesting. It actually says to try something different. So perhaps for you, the reason why this came up for you, and that is distinction and variety. This message came up for you because maybe you're used to kind of just rolling with it and seeing what you can do and picking up the pieces of yourself afterwards. Now I'm here to let you know you don't always need to do that. You can now sit back and let yourself be in that space where you are prepared for it. You see it coming and you're going to prepare for it and have your own methods and your ways of dealing with it, right? And it even says that in color is light and beauty. So what are those things that bring those elements into your life? Perhaps maybe that self-grounding physical thing you need to do is create art or something beautiful. It doesn't always have to be so soulful, but please do cleanse. You need to do that. Other than that, maybe it's something that fills up your soul because people seem to be draining it this season. It happens. So what can you do to be ready for this new season ahead? You can plan your measures ahead. You can take responsibility for your own healing and for your own clearing, and knowing that at the end of the day, you need to also step back when you need that alone time. When you need to be away from all this craziness and understanding that you are responsible for making yourself whole again. That really is the core message here, because that's how your waters become still. That's how you become wise emotionally and be able to make decisions with confidence. When you are coming from a place where you centered yourself and you are in that centered position, not because life happens to just work, because you put yourself there. So if you want to know how to be wiser and even, I would say, wiser and more confident about the year that's to come, that is the Sagittarian energy right there. Take responsibility for your healing and maintenance of yourself. Take that initiative. I heard that for this year, the rest of this year, yes, because we are finishing up, but you enjoy a close season despite the chaos. You'll make it, I'm sure, and that you are able to look after you, and that you come into the new year better equipped, wiser, and with a lot more foresight. Why am I doing this little dance? I'm not sure. So take care of yourself. I will see you in the new year, that is January, and we'll be touching on my Capricorn energy. But until then, look after yourself. Bye now. Thank you for joining me again this month in December. And of course for Christmas, the wonderfully festive season. It's great to have you here and to bring you that guidance. We explored some really important themes today about sometimes stepping back to let the universe look after you. We also learned much about considering the relationships and the influences that take up space in your life, especially when you're going to be so exposed to them in this particular month. It's that time of the year. And making those decisions as to where people should sit, but also at the same time, being quite responsible for yourself, because to some extent people can control themselves, but you can only control you. And being responsible for your own healing, for your own clearing and grounding, so that you can put yourself in a better position to move forward in the decisions you want to make, the goals you want to achieve in life. That is the bold Sagittarian energy, putting yourself out there, but being also quite honest about what you need at the time, what is right for you, and who matters to you. Sagittarians are quite straightforward when it comes to things like that. So I'm wishing you a wonderful month, not just the Sagittarians, I know, so it's about you, happy birthday, but also wishing all of you a wonderful Merry Christmas. That you be together in love, harmony, joy, enjoying the season that is meant for you to come together. And I will see you in the next month, the next year. Thank you for being with me for a whole new year, getting the guidance, receiving the insight, and coming together in this wonderful energy. I always want to thank all of you for being here with me. Happy New Year. I'll see you then. Bye, and see you in 2023.